Hey everyone, my name is Anders, and today we are going to go over the new updates for Black Desert. The class balance changes for Berserker and Corsair are currently only in Korean servers. We will most likely get them next week. We are going to talk about the infinite potion changes that are again Korea only right now. And lastly, we'll go over some of what we can expect for their new region, which is confirmed to release next week for global servers on PC. Now let's start with the Awakening Corsair and the changes to that class. Corsair has a new skill called Engulfing Vortex. It is a 6-second cooldown skill with a partial frontal guard before the attack and a 9% evasion debuff on hits. This is another range skill that can be linked with skills like Open Fire to maintain DPS at range for Corsair. Corsair also received a second new skill called Water Piercing Slash. This replaces the High Spirit skill, which was replaced by the Suppress skill. This new skill can be used on cooldown and again is primarily a ranged skill. Tide Splitter Petrarca has improved to move faster and now links with the newer skills. Wave Breaker Petrarca received a ton of changes as well. It is now a super armor skill. The stiffness CC is now PvE only. Movement distance has been increased while the skill is not on cooldown. It now has an added accuracy buff of 9% on use for 10 seconds and damage has been increased by 43% in PvE and PvP. Suppress no longer recovers mana and instead recovers 60 HP per hit. A critical hit rate buff of 24% has been added to the skill. Open Fire and Ceasefire have been combined into one skill. To do the follow-up attack, you can hold down F and damage remains around the same, a little bit more in PvE. No Mercy Scallywags no longer have the evasion debuff on hits and damage has been increased by 14%. Ocean's Allure now recovers mana and no longer consumes mana on use. It will now vacuum other players on the fog effect. Before that was a PvE only effect. The BSR version of the skill now has a 15% attack speed debuff for 5 seconds on good hits and damage overall has increased by about 5%. Earth Render Petrarca now has links with more skills using the LMB input. Wave Skedaddle now keeps you in Awakening stance on use. Labao will more frequently assist you when your HP is below 50%. Spare No Quarter damage has increased by 28%. Charge now deals 39% more damage. Sun Shielder Petrarca damage has increased by 12% and Wind Piercer Petrarca now deals 20% more damage. Those are the Corsair changes in a nutshell. They seem fairly good, but we'll see how it feels in practice, especially for PvE. Now moving on to Berserker, Awakening Berserker has a new skill that replaces General Disarray. This new skill is called Flame Chain. It uses the Q input, which means you need to hotkey your Titan Syndrome Awakening buff skill from now on. This new skill is an unprotected movement knockback and floating CC skill that can be used on cooldown. After ground lifting, the linked skills have been changed to activate before movement. Slugfest now has a last hit input change and now deals 12% more damage. Ancient Wave now maintains charging stance when using RMB. You can now rotate according to the camera direction and the cooldown has been reduced to 15 seconds down from 20 seconds. Damage has also increased by 30%. Earth Dividing now applies hits equally in PvP and PvE. Split Shot Slow Animation bug has apparently been fixed. Devastation now deals 13% more damage in PvE. Seismic Blast now deals 25% more damage in PvE, and Scatter Shot now deals 17% more damage in PvE. That is the extent of the Awakening Berserker changes. Let me know what you think in the comments. The Corsair and Berserker changes are live in Korea only and will most likely go live next week for us in other regions. Infinite potions can now be sold to the market in Korean servers. This may come to us next week. We're not sure. The price is maxed on Korean servers at 20 billion silver, but as you can see, prices are crashing hard, especially for the HP potion. There are currently 3 listings per potion, including the ancient versions of these potions, which have your name engraved if you were able to craft them before the introduction of pity pieces a while back. This is not going to be possible next week as they will be restricting sales of infinite potions to the normal ones, the ones that we can get right now. So if you do have an ancient infinite potion, you will not be able to sell your potion to the market. Effectively, this change makes new players able to buy the HP Infinite Potion at least after a couple of days of grinding money spots in the game. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. There is also an omission to our Marni update today. We have expanded respawn rates for Marni servers. Over 35-38 zones now have Marni servers on our regions, but we do not have the Marni recharge currently live on Korean servers. This is the mechanic to allow you to grind 11 hours hours a day or so of Marni using the private room every other hour. This is not live on our regions, and there are currently no dates set to let us know when or if we will be getting these changes to Marni. I should also mention there are some screenshots of Southeast Asia and Taiwan players seeing Cron stones valued at 3 million silver from blacksmiths. This is a bug. Currently, Korean servers are the only ones with the Cron price changes, and the rest of the regions are currently 2 outfit price increase updates behind the Korean servers. If a Cron price were to happen, we would obviously get a notice beforehand. The new fishing aquarium tool has also released on Korean servers. This should be available to us as a permanent tool next week. This item allows you to store up to 50 fish automatically in this aquarium or fish tank. When fish are in this fish tank, their quality degradation effect is slowed down by 5 times. So if a fish from Elvia is stored here, it will last up to 5 days instead of 1 day before expiring. If a fish from the Mountain of Eternal Winter area is stored here, it will last up to 15 days instead of 3 days. You can automatically store fish in this new tool as you fish, but it will not be able to store any fish if you are encumbered. Ulu Kita grind spots have received some changes to monsters' density in the City of the Dead. HP and elite frequency has also changed. Essences of Dark Origin now drop more frequently, which should drive the prices even lower than they are right now. Currently, each one's around 500 million silver each. The max is 750 million silver per essence. The new region will release for us next week with maybe these changes and maybe a couple more tweaks that we may see after test server this week. This week, we also have the Elvia and grind spot buffs to some areas, including Gyfin Underground and some Elvia Calpheon spots, but the Primal Giant zone has been nerfed from the Korean release. Agris consumption has increased in the area and trash loot doesn't drop as much. This should still be a buff overall to the zone compared to what it was before this patch, but it is nowhere near as good as the Korean release, where some players were achieving near 1 billion silver an hour purely from trash loot. The guards in Heidel Castle have been removed in anticipation for a mini revamp to the area in Korean servers. We don't know what that is, but we'll see hopefully next week. You can now mass invest energy without switching characters in Korea. This should again go live next week, hopefully for us and the rest of the regions. A really nice quality of life change. For us this week, we have received the Krogdalo Sanctuary, which is the treasure item you get from a quest after you have obtained all 3 mythical dream horses. This item will be registered at a stable where your 3 mythical dream horses reside. At any time, wherever you are, you can swap between all 3 mythical horses instantly once you have this item. You will also receive a special title for completing this quest line. Find My Item now has a Control F input to open the function, making it easier, but this can be disabled if it messes up your skills or mouse to move through the settings menu. And that's all for this video. I'll leave you with the showcase of the new Selaine outfit coming next week for global servers. And as always, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.